Hello crafting friends, Susan from Wild Cottage here, and this is not actually a proper crafting podcast episode. I just wanted to do a quick little update, and I have a video I recorded, just sort of like a little vlog that I'll stick on the end of this, but I wanted to just do a little update on the prize giveaway that I'm doing. And first off, oh my goodness, thank you, so many kind comments, so many new subscribers. I had said I was doing a prize when we get to 250 subscribers, and I think I'm just over 300 now. Thank you very much. So I probably should draw the prize shortly, but I wanted to just give a date that I'm actually going to draw it. So I'm recording this today on Friday, November 13th. Yeah, Friday the 13th. Good thing we're not suspicious, or not suspicious, superstitious. Because Tom, my partner, he's been sick for a couple days quite badly, and it turned out he had a very badly cracked tooth that couldn't be saved, so he had to go in this morning and have it pulled. So we had hoped to make a podcast, he and I, about the animals and this sort of thing, but obviously that was just not happening. So I'm just going to do this little update and say that today is the 13th, and what I will do on the podcast episode 1, I'll leave the comments open, because that's how you enter the giveaway. I'll leave it open for, let's say if today's the 13th, I'll leave it open for 3 more days. So, so on the 16th, so on November 16th, I'll close the comments, and then I'll use the random number generator, and I'll, oh my goodness, Sheppy, I'll pick a winner. And just again to remind you, what you will win if you're the winner is the 50 gram skein of 100% Irish alpaca from Zwartables Ireland Farm, and also from Zwartables Ireland Farm, her 100% Irish wool spun. This one is spun in Ireland in a traditional woolen mill, and this is a 100 gram skein of DK, and I believe it's 200 meters. And this one, I believe I put it on the drop down description bar in the last video. I think it's the 2-ply, and I think it's 140 meters, but don't quote me on that. Fairy Realm Yarns. Let's see, there we go. Here we go. Lovely stitch marker. I'll put that in as well. And just as a little teaser for some of the things that will come up on the next episode. So just as a teaser for the next episode, I want to show you that this is something I'll talk about. This is a felted basket. It's 100% Irish wool and Irish wool locks. And it's super duper handy, that I learned to make from Sandra Marshall. Stop now, stop messing, stop messing. She's part of Irish Fiber Crafter. So I'm going to talk about this basket. Oops. Anyway, I'm going to talk about this basket. I'm going to talk about a Christmas shawl that I'm making, and I'm going to talk about this wonderful bag that I ordered from the Fairy Realm Yarns, which is hand painted with squirrel nutkin, and I got some lovely yarns from her. And there is a yarn in here for you guys for a prize for another giveaway that I'll definitely do at some point, probably not too far away. And I'll just give you a wee peep. It's a lovely mini. Let me see now. That will focus. It doesn't want to focus. Oh, my face, because of my face. Isn't that beautiful? It's merino and nylon, and it's really soft. It's really lovely, the little mini here. And I'll get a few other little bits and bobs and we'll put in with it as well. So that will be a future giveaway. So I'll be talking about a few new projects, the felted basket, who knows what else. So if you want to enter the giveaway on the Wild Cottage Crafting Podcast episode 1, leave a comment about socks, or you can leave a comment about anything. Have you ever used Wensleydale, this sort of thing? And I will close those comments on the 16th and draw a winner, and then on the next podcast episode I will announce the winner. Okay, thank you for listening. Take care. Hello internet friends. I know some of you have expressed an interest in the cottage And so I thought maybe bit by bit I'd give you a little tour. I'll start with this section here, which is actually in our bedroom, but I'm going to show you my craft area. And part of the, what do I want to say? So the cottage is quite small. It's not, I don't think it's even 600 square feet. I think it's 500 and some square feet. So, yeah, let me turn this around and I'll show you. Okay, so this is our bedroom. As you can see, it's lovely sunny, it's south facing. In the corner is my little craft desk where I do different bits and bobs like card making and learning watercolors, things like that. And then Mr., who is actually, his name is actual Tom because he's going to be talking on some of the podcasts with me. So we'll just go ahead and let him have his name. He has some of his guitars in here. Now, so this is a very small room. This corner here is part of the chimney breast. And there's no heating there's no heating in the house. No central heating because like the old style cottages, there's a central fireplace and it actually warms up the chimney breast. Half of the chimney breast is in this room and half is in the other room to the side. So, yeah, it gets really warm in here for sure when that's on. So there are no closets, so we do cubbies. And Mr. particularly is very minimalist. You may know he has Asperger's, so he doesn't like a lot of clutter. So he's very good. He's adapted to this because I have things. But it means he has very little in the way of wardrobe. And actually, I don't either. I've gone through times in my life when I've been quite minimalist and other times when I haven't. But for quite some time now, several years now, just because I like it, and also I have to be, this is my wardrobe and this is it. Yeah. And a lot of those drawers are even with miscellaneous items like essential oils and just like that. So it's not all clothes. And this is also where, so I have some of my shoes, like not my wellies, but I would keep my shoes and my slippers in there. My little spinning wheel. So one reason I only have an electric wheel now is partially because of my physical abilities. It was really hurting my back to treadle, but also again the space issue. So that lives in there. And then I have different books that I'm reading, library books in there first so I don't forget to read them, my coloring. And this I wanted to show you, I'll talk about it in a crafting podcast, is a lovely felted basket I made with Irish woolen locks. And I was taught by one of the women who's part of Irish Fiber Crafters, Sandra Marshall, and she makes all kinds of these baskets. They're so beautiful. And also she is now teaching the class online. So it's an online workshop that you can purchase at Irish Fiber Crafters. So I'll tell you a bit more I'll show you the basket in more detail during a podcast. And then the first podcast I did, there's my little fan for when I have a hot flash. Thankfully I don't have those too much anymore. That was the wool I was showing you there, the braid of the Wensleydale. So I've made it into little nests and I'm going to spin it up, and then I hang usually I hang one of my crafting projects right there because I work a lot of it in bed in the evening and when I need to rest from my fibromyalgia. As you can see, the cottage needs painted, but anyway. So yeah, so mainly what I have in here are just my little treasures, actually, and a few jumpers and shawls and books from my childhood and yeah, things like that. So there are some clothes, but yeah, so when I start, a lot of things I make I do give away because yeah, I just like that. I like to make things for other people and myself, so I keep some and not others. There's the view from our bedroom window. It's a very beautiful day. If you're wondering what those yarns are doing on the window, it's just that sometimes the reflection when the sky or cloud or sun is right, sometimes the little birds would fly into the windows, and especially like when they were feeding on the sunflowers out there. So we put that on there and the movement just seems to stop them. Oh, Mimi's playing with the stick. So yeah, so anyway, I didn't even bring you over to the stash yet, did I? No, I did not. So I have 3 cubbies with yarns. I've built up my stash over the past few months to get ready for lockdown and in lockdown. This is just a miscellaneous thing of minis and some sock yarns and some projects that I started that I'm going to frog. Here we have the 2 of the yarns that I'm going to be giving in the giveaway that I talked about in podcast 1. And also I forgot to mention I'm going to give away with that one of the stitch markers from Fairy Realm Yarns. Then here are, there we go, some of my braids, my spinning fiber. I have several from Grace at Babel's Traveling Yarns. And this is actually one of her, it's not as orange as that, but that's one of her yarns. And it's called I Love My Brick, which if you know Father Ted, that's a Father Ted reference. And so I think I would have nearly bought it for the name, even without the stunning color. It's so stunning. It's really coppery. It's not quite as orangey as that. And then these are my 2 cubbies of yarn, and they're about a foot square. This one is about 14 inches high, but it's not quite full. But I have a fair bit now, so I have all my little moth repellent cedar. And this one is a fair bit of Donegal yarn, also some boucle yarn from Cushendale Woolen Mills. That's the one in Graignamanagh, County Kilkenny, where Susanna has her yarn spun. We have some early hand spun of mine, that one particularly. And this is all Irish. No, these are all Irish. These 2 are Irish alpaca, not Susanna's. And then I have a lot of different Irish wools in here, etc. Most of these things have projects. They're destined for projects. I know what they are. So I'll talk about them bit by bit because there's some really interesting ones in there. There's some really beautiful ones. That's blown out a bit. But anyway, and then I also actually have another stash here. This cubby and this cubby. And then there's a big one there. That is just my plain wools that I'm going to spin for a breed study. So I've been collecting them over sort of a couple years, and I'm going to do a breed study with those yarns. So yeah, so that's just a quick little look at our bedroom and my craft stash. Hello, crafting friends. Thought I'd take a moment here. I've just gotten dressed for the day, and not a pajama day. And I put on one of the shawls that I made, and I thought I would just show you. This is the Ophelia shawl set from Burrow and Soar, and you may recognize this middle color here, which is what I had also put into the baby blanket that I made. I had some of this left over. I had both of them a little bit left over because I only made a sort of a shorter shawl. And I really love it. This is, like I was saying, I'm really drawn to this kind of chartreuse color. I just love really vibrant colors. Yeah, and they're really super nice together. And again, it's just a triangle shawl where I just, did the knit stitch and increased every other row. I'm trying to remember now what the content of this yarn is. I believe it's probably like superwash merino or it's a sock yarn. I'm sure it's like a sock yarn. It had merino and nylon in it anyways. But yeah, really, really lovely colors. And yeah, this is one of the first shawls I made. And so I'm pretty happy with it. So I wanted to show you.